All right, so a quick little update on the ultracruiser. We made some progress in getting the messed up elevator off of there. Here's a bit better image of some of the damage that was sustained throughout its life. The rear spar is incredibly strong until right here. Something hooked it underneath or hit it or pushed on it or something and tore that material and popped out some rivets. As far as I know, it never flew. Um, but we got that off. It looks like I got some tweaking to do here. That hole on the left side is quite a bit too big. As myself and Dennis noted, this is an older set of plans. E2 as a bulkhead isn't in it. I think at this point we're just going to clean it all up, try to get this sorted out, whether that's replace that piece or get a new one. Either way, that's fine. Somebody, somewhere, some way decided to leave a cleco holding the nose section of the rudder right here. There's a cleco inside of here. That's interesting. But got a bunch of dirt and leaves vacuumed out of the wings and the center section. Found a lovely supplier of 0.5 millimeter thick wall, 12-13 millimeter tubing. It's carbon fiber. So I'm going to redo these with aluminum with steel threading into a custom fitted drive shaft style epoxied carbon fiber to aluminum fitted control linkages. These are in the works of getting redone. These are not good enough, so I have some material to redo that. Big thing on this particular video, other than for Dennis's pure enjoyment, this is Quinn. She's 7 now. She's our mutt. We love her. She loves to be out here and sniff around while I'm working. But this is the motor. That dirty pile of rust turned out extremely good. All the bores cleaned up really, really nice. There's 2 pits out of all that rust. There's 2 pits in one cylinder. And they're very minuscule. And underneath the crank and everything, cleaned up extremely well. No perceivable play in any of the bearings. Just had to wash all the grit and the junk out of it. I made some strides towards lightening. This is what's left of my recoil and fan assembly, which was 6 pounds when it was all in one piece, but this holds the pickup, right, for the CDI ignition that this runs. So it'll be open cover with an open flywheel, no recoil. This guy mounted down to the side. My plan is to not run the pulley, it's to not run the recoil adapter plates, nothing but just the flywheel with the stator underneath it. I was hoping, which some people may know better than me, but I know that these guys are ridiculously heavy for an air-cooled head. I was contemplating, seeing as I'm going to have slightly less flow of air, if upping the surface area on these a little bit would help in cooling or hurt. Same with these, upping the surface area of all this to get, be able to have a lower air flow, but the same relative heat dissipation. That gets into some weird thermodynamics, but I have pistons, gaskets, everything on the way for the motor, so we'll have that go back together for next time. This is the one of the 2 original pistons. Those rings, I did successfully get the rings out of the other piston, but it was an act of God to do so, and that's definitely wasn't ever going to get cleaned up enough to work. Currently, I'm actually struggling to find a company that will make me a 3-blade prop that is clockwise, looking at it from the front, that is carbon fiber. I need the added lightness of the carbon fiber, I believe. Even though this is going to be, 15-ish pounds lighter, without all the shrouding, without the fan, without the belt, without all that stuff on it. So I'll obviously be remaking the shroud. And my plan is, still working this out in my head, but my plan is to have a normal engine cover on the top, right? Just don't cut it out for the cylinders on either side. Throw the cylinders upside down, so flip the motor upside down, have the cylinders inside of the engine bay, and then on the, well, I guess hot side or cold side, I guess it doesn't really matter, but actually it might matter. I'll think about that later. But I'll build a duct, probably 20 square inches or so, and then feed that through the engine bay and then down out the bottom, so that it tries to look like a normal engine bay, just without the cylinders hanging out the side, a normal smooth cowl and a smooth spinner and everything on the front to make it look correct. I gotta take a quick look back at roughly guesstimate how much air was going through the original fan, guesstimate how much air was actually going through these little shrouds, and come up with a rough idea as to how big I need that intake to be to move a similar amount of air. And try to cool this thing just a little bit. Yeah. And then I was contemplating, though this may be a stupid idea. Somebody will probably pipe up and say stupid, but I was contemplating, seeing as this motor is real light, that wing is in an interesting place. And I honestly think somebody built it for the half VW weight to be on the nose. If I need more weight on the nose and my engine is upside down, what if, now this is theoretical, don't scream at me yet, but what if a 5-gallon fuel cell was up here? I know that that's variable weight, drastically variable weight, and all variable weight should be over the center of lift, but that might be able to get me weight enough forwards to make it balance again. No, I haven't done any of the calculations yet. I'm just guessing by this thing being light and that thing getting lighter and everything getting lighter on the front that I may actually have to add weight on the nose. Moving the tank forward is a possibility, though the static weight of an empty tank isn't all that much. So we'll contemplate that as we go. And variable weight problems, being not on the center of lift, I guess that does play in. I'd love to know if Dennis, or actually anybody else that happens to watch this, how much of a balance change do you see with a full tank versus an empty tank? Do you feel it? What does it measure out to? I haven't done any balance calculations on this because it's missing some hardware. So, yeah, is it something I should be worried about, having 5 gallons of gas disappear on the nose? Is that going to make it a tail-heavy situation on landing? Which obviously it would make a difference, but is it enough of a difference is my question. So anyways, y'all have a good evening. I gotta go get my puppy back inside. It's kind of cold here still. I'll be waiting on parts for this for a couple of days, so maybe no major updates, at least on the engine. But the rest of this I'll be continuing on with one little bit at a time as I go. Yeah. Thanks for watching.